school bodybuilding clothing company. If leg day was yesterday and now you're wondering why toilets are so damn low, you are definitely old school. If you're the only athlete at your gym that knows there's a contest today and it's to see who trains the hardest, you are old school. OSBBC.com for the hardest training athletes.
I'm Dave Palumbo, founder of Species Nutrition. From my earliest bodybuilding days, I believed in only putting the best in my body. And that lives on in the Species Nutrition line of products. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. Welcome back to RXMuscle's Iron Road to the Olympia 2020, brought to you by Species Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest, one of my favorites, Antoine Vaillant, our Cal Pro champion, going to his first Olympia, looking ready to go. Love it.
How's it going?
I love talking to you. I'm always in a good mood after the interview for some reason. You liven me up a little bit.
Yeah, you missed me, huh?
I feed off your energy for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's good. Well, that's what it's all about, bringing the best out of people, right?
That's right. By the way, I know you noticed my Thor's hammer here that it was made for me by one of our fans, and Lee Priest made him send it to me. I think I'm going to have him send you one too, because you would appreciate it and you would probably showcase
I'm pretty
it.
jealous. I was like, you were talking about whatever we're talking about, the COVID stuff. I'm like, I wasn't listening. I was just staring at the hammer. I'm like, whoa, that's a sick hammer.
All right, I'm going to have we're going to get one sent to Antoine too. Now, let's talk body.
I've been wearing Thor hammer necklaces like that since I'm like 16 years old.
Oh, I didn't know you were a big Thor fan.
Yeah, well, it's one of my things. Like not even the Marvel stuff. Like just like the real like Norse mythology. Like
me too.
Son of Odin, God of Thunder. I just think it's like I don't know. It's always been a part of like around. I just like it.
Did you play Dungeons and Dragons when you were a kid?
No, I didn't. I think that was before me.
Oh, that was a little too before you. Yeah, you would have loved it because you would have loved the whole fantasy aspect of it. The creating characters
stuff. Yeah,
you would have gotten off on it. Now let me ask you this question, because obviously you're going into your first Olympia. You're looking the best that you've ever looked. You had some setbacks over the last couple of years with the bicep tear, and we talked about the drug problems in the past. Is this the pinnacle? I mean, do you feel like, hey, I've arrived now? I'm going to the Olympia?
Well, yeah. Well, it's pretty cool that because when I won the Cali Pro, I was like overwhelmed. I was like, wow, this is amazing. I'm doing the Olympia, and then I was like just happy to go there. I'd be like, this is amazing. It's like the biggest achievement in my bodybuilding career. And because bodybuilding is my passion, my life, and my career, it was one of the biggest achievement in my life, I guess, as far as like performance goes and just like hard work and things like that. But then I talked to Jay Cutler, and he asked me, "What's your predictions for the Olympia?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm just happy to be there." He said, "No. So you can't think like that." He said, the first Olympia I did, even if I was last, I was going to win in my head.
Right.
I'm like, really? And then he said, you got to go there and tell yourself that you want to be compared with the best in the world. And then I kept that in the back of my mind. And then I trained smart, trained hard. I stayed on the diet, and I just ate. ate a good amount of food after the show. I didn't rebound in a bad way, but I actually gained size since the Cali Pro.
You look like it.
I'm actually bigger, and now I'm thinking like, how can I beat some of those veteran guys?
Right.
Like then I look objectively at some of my body parts, at some of my separation, and at the things I have, because I've always looked at the things I didn't have,
right,
Like, oh, I don't have the mass in the upper body. I don't have the back of like Phil Heath and things like that. But now I'm feeling like there must be one body part I beat somebody, all of them, right?
Right.
I beat Dexter with the calves. I could probably beat the Phil Heath with the midsection, maybe, unless he fixed it.
Sure.
I can beat the Rami with detail and separation. Right. So it's like I'm up there in the mix now. So I've actually, as the weeks went by, I've changed my mindset.
Right.
Okay, well, these are my idols. Yes, they motivate me. Yes, Dexter was there when I started training, like in the gym. Before I even joined the gym, I had a magazine, and he was like top 6 Olympia.
Right.
2003. And now, 17 years later, I'm competing against him. And it's his last Olympia, so it's a special Olympia for him. It's a special Olympia for me as a fan of bodybuilding. It's like a dream come true. And also, I just don't want to compete with my idols. I want to beat my idols. So we'll see. I can't make predictions. It's my first Olympia.
Sure.
But what I can predict is that I'm doing even if I was working hard before, it's even crazier now.
That's awesome.
It's actually getting really hard, but I'm doing my best. And you know what? I'm gonna go there and try to give him hell.
Yeah.
And have fun, of course, and have fun because that's what I do. But yeah. So my mindset is like, let's see what I can beat.
Yeah, that's a great mindset. It's
not impossible. Like Rolly, sometimes he's kind of soft.
Right.
Sometimes his back is kind of soft. And I've seen some shows where he was like fourth, like I don't remember which one against Dexter or whatever. I've seen some pictures like, yeah, he's fucking swole, but there wasn't much separation there.
Right.
His legs were not dry. I like paper thin skin.
Right.
And I've noticed that a lot of guys don't have crazy condition.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at my strong points, and I'm banking on that to put me ahead of some. And my weak points, I'm just doing the best with the short time that I had to improve them. And now I got like do you know Mike Van Wyck?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he's training me every day now. So I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, he's a hard guy. He's a hard ass guy. Yeah, you're gonna do well with him.
Oh yeah, he's like 300 pounds right now.
Yeah.
He's just like training for fun. So he's like a giant.
I know Mike very well. I work with him. Yeah.
When he's training me, I look like a kid. So when this guy says like, do 2 more reps, put your head back and stretch your lats, you're going to listen. So he's been taking the time to help me for this prep, and for real, it made a big impact on my physique, even my back and
right.
all these things. So I'm doing all the body parts with him now. And I just started posing with Flex Wheeler. I did last night. I did the night before. And I'm probably going to do tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every night. You know what he tells me? The thing is like he makes me pose at 9 p.m.
Right.
My time. Because it's 6 p.m. his time.
Right.
At 9 p.m., 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, you're like, you don't want to do.
No, you want to go to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's 15 days. Let's go. And so last night we go on FaceTime. He tells me, okay, now I'm going to make you do 1 round, see where you're at, and then I'm going to make you go round after round. You pose 100% the hardest you can until you exhaust yourself and you fail, and then we keep on posing. And then he makes me hold the relaxed poses for 30 seconds. It's like,
now,
well, you remember how it is to pose on stage?
Yeah. Let me ask you this question, though, because Flex Wheeler obviously was one of the best. I think he had some of the best presentation on stage of all time. But you're really good too. What kind of, like, aside from working you and giving you a workout in posing, what does he impart to you? What wisdom have you gotten from him over the last 10 posing sessions you've done with him that you didn't know before? Like, give me some like nuances of what he changed about your posing that you said, oh, this really made a big difference.
Well, what it is in reality is that I think I'm a good. He says I'm a good poser. I think I'm a good. I have good posing, but It's like I'm better at the free posing and the fun posing.
Right.
You know, the one I can make myself look good and artsy, whatever.
Yeah.
But the actual mandatories, I'm always questioning myself. I can't twist it as much as I would want to. I can't bring my shoulder back on the side tricep.
Right.
My waist is not as tight when I try to twist more. And then I kind of like think about all these things, and he's there to like just give me some tips and do that. And then little tips he gives me, they actually help me a lot with the mandatory poses. And those are the one that matters on stage. It's not the choreography. Choreography, I think they give an award at the Arnold Classic. That's it.
Yeah.
The rest of the competition is just you go up there, stick your tongue out, do most musculars, walk to the stage, to the other, do a last spread, and then whatever, right? But I like to put on a show, so of course I'm gonna build a nice routine for the Olympia.
I'm sure. I can't wait to see your routine.
But for Flex Wheeler, what he does right now is just like we're going with conditioning. He just makes me pose and pose and pose, and he wants to kill me. Mm-hmm. So when I'm on stage and I'm actually dying, I know in my head Flex made me go through that already, and I can hit the poses right, even if my heart rate goes up to 147, because it goes up that high when I pose.
Wow, interesting.
So, yeah, it's exhausting. So he's just making sure, like he's drilling me, is making sure I can like do the poses, and while I'm exhausted and tired.
Well, you know what? It's interesting. Let me give you a good analogy. I like to do analogies. The fitness girls, they do a routine. I don't know, what is it, 2.5 minutes, their routine? If you ever watch a routine with the girls like progressively getting slower throughout the whole routine, and you actually feel the energy go away from them because they're getting tired, and then you have these girls that can go out for 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and go boom, balls to the wall from the minute they start to the minute they end with the same high energy level. And they're being scored, 2/3 of their routine. 2/3 of their score is the routine round, so that's very important. It's the same thing for bodybuilding. If you don't go and practice your posing out there, and they keep you out there for a 45-minute posing, prejudging, you're going to start. The energy is going to leave you, and the judges are not going to want to look at you anymore, just because it's a human nature thing. It's an intangible thing. When you see someone fading in terms of energy, you don't look at them anymore. And so what Flex is doing is he's giving you that ability to keep the same high energy level, and same, wow factor throughout the entire prejudging. Yeah,
exactly. Because he's telling me, because what he also does, he said, all right, now free posing 3 minutes. Then he starts the timer.
Wow, so for 3 minutes.
So for 3 minutes, I got to improvise. Because he said, oh, what's your routine? I said, well, I got some combos, but I didn't really put it up yet. He was like, so all right, just improvise then. So for 3 minutes, I improvise. I will do like that, this and that.
Give me 15 seconds of improvisation right now. 15 seconds of improvisation
right now.
Right now, yeah. I'm not going to be as strict as Flex Wheeler, but.
Well, let me put the screen up then.
Okay, yeah, turn the screen up a little bit. Give me 20 seconds of improvisation.
20 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, okay, like this.
I love your twisting shots, man. Those are great.
Wait. Boom.
Great. You have very good body awareness. Was that something you worked on, or did you always have that even as a kid?
Well, body awareness.
In other words, knowing where your body is and how to position it in space.
Well, I did. Remember I did the martial arts stuff?
Yeah.
I was like flipping around in the air.
Uh-huh.
If I didn't know where my body was, I would crash on my head.
Yeah, I would crash on my head as a kid. I was very good at sports, but I don't think I had such great body awareness. I had to work on that a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, and while I'm doing that, while I'm posing for 3 minutes of free posing, he says, glutes. All right, personality.
Right.
He wants me to show my personality,
right.
Even if I'm super tired. So just like you said, he wants me to keep showing my energy,
right,
and my personality, even if I'm getting tired.
Right. Very important. That's a very important thing you mentioned here. And you know what? If you talk to Flex off camera, he's engaging, but he's kind of shy by his own admission. But when he was on stage, he was booming, with personality, and you felt like you can feel his presence. because he was able to project that. And I think that that's what he's trying to tell you to do. You have a bigger personality than pretty much anyone on that stage. So he's telling you, show that personality at all times, right? Good tips we're getting right here. These are very good. I don't know if anyone will listen to these tips, but this is very valid information that people should take into their, presentation.
Yeah, if one flex reader tells you something to do on stage, you take notes and you fucking apply it.
Yeah. Well,
it's like Big Mike when he's training me. When he says something, and then I don't even question it, I apply it. Right. And then if I'm questioning something in my head about it, I just express myself to them, and then we figure it out.
Yeah, I love finding people that are better than me at the things that I'm trying to work on and improve, because it's like I have someone to defer to that knows more than I do, and sometimes it's hard. As you get older, it's harder to find people that are that are better than you at other things. But it's good that you're not afraid to surround yourself with people that have more experience, or that can push you in the gym, or that can push you in the posing, that can push you diet-wise, because that's going to only make you better as a bodybuilder. And I think a lot of guys want to go into that comfort zone where they don't want anyone telling them what to do. They want to just do it their way, and they never improve because of that.
Yeah, well, for me, I've always been open-minded, and especially I try to put my ego away every time, because the thing sometimes that what you got to hold you back in life, it's your ego, keeping you like, no, I guess I'm right. I want to do this my way, and sometimes the ego is also scared. Oh, no, this is too much work, so I'm going to subconsciously give it an excuse so that my way is better in my head. And like, fuck, with Mike, for back, the heaviest I went on bent over rows is 1.5 plates.
Wow.
And my lats were always fried every time.
You're squeezing
and
more, yeah.
I'm relearning how to train pretty much everything.
Right.
So, because I've always was a guy when I was younger, I would muscle out the reps.
Yep.
And then and all of my movements for some reason, like my brother, I kind of like, my traps are kind of like take over everything.
Right.
Sometimes I'm like, not because of Mike, sometimes I'm just hanging out and I'm talking and I'm like, drop the fucking shoulders. Like, why am I always shrugging? So it's like you talk about body awareness.
Yeah.
Now it's like I'm being more aware of my own body and my positioning, just because every time I'm doing something wrong during exercise, Mike's like, shoulders down. All right, head back, chin down, chest up.
It's important.
Pull yourself through the wall. So it's like I'm learning like the new ways to train. And now when people train on Instagram who have really good backs, I'm like, oh, look, Derek Funsworth, the Mr. USA. He's like, the way he's doing the back, oh, I see why he's doing that now.
Yeah.
The way he's throwing himself forward and stretching the lats and moving with the weight. And then I've noticed that my friend Regan also does that.
Right.
And sometimes what happens is that some people have genetically strong lats, so they will use that body part properly to do the movement. But for me, my lats were never a strong point. So what's the strong point for me? Shoulders and traps. So boom, I bring the weight towards me with my strong point. And then my weak point just never work.
But
now I'm able to see people working like the way they're working out and moving because of Mike, what I'm learning. Yeah,
you got to reach. Sometimes you got to start over, reboot. I always made my best progress after an injury where I had to start working out very light again. It was like I retrained myself how to work out. I was like, wow, I actually feel these body parts, and I'm doing like a fraction of the weight that I was doing before. So there's definitely something to that. So. Well, it looks like you're going to make a big impression in your first Olympia. You're definitely in shape, obviously. I can see that. I'm sure you're super excited to get out there, and I just want to wish you the best of luck on that stage.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and now with Dorian Hamilton, my coach, we figured out like that I can eat more food than we think. Okay. I was pretty damn depleted for a New York Pro. We just thought maybe that was like the size that I had. Yeah. But then we carved up like the story that I carved up for 9 days and I ate like so many carbs, and then I was like able to win the Cali Pro. But now we're not making myself deplete that far, and now we've been carbing up like every week with like 3 high days a week. Yeah. We pushed 4 low days, then we carb 3 high days. So now we've been doing like some type of like usual a carb rotation, but a harder carb one. Right. The whole time now. So I'll be able to peak properly for the Olympia and have a good amount of fullness and size combined with some conditioning. And now with Big Mike Van Wyck training me and Flex Wheeler helping me pose again, I mean, what more can you ask? The only thing left is I just got to bust my ass until then and then hope for the best.
All right. Well, I don't think you'd have to hope for anything. I think you once you put the work in, it just kind of happens, and you're right where you need to be. And like I said, I'm excited for you because I know the journey you took to get here. So good luck on that Olympia stage. Obviously, we'll see you out in Orlando. Safe flight, and thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, let's do another interview right after.
Absolutely. We'll do the wrap up with Antoine Vaillant.
Perfect.
Nice. All right, guys, that's going to take us to the end of another episode of RXMuscle's Iron Road to the Olympia 2020, brought to you by Species Nutrition. With Antoine Vaillant pumping himself up for the upcoming Olympia weekend. We'll see you next time.
Mr. 2020, here we come. People, Orlando, winter is coming. Winter is coming. Beware.